We will start by sitting silently for a moment, connecting with the breath. Allowing the breathing to be regular, taking the time to arrive. Breathing in, I inhabit the body. Breathing out, I let go. Can do this on our own a few times. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to achieve, nothing to want, nothing to acquire, nothing to get rid of. Nowhere to go, but being here now. I am myself. I can drop the roles. Son, daughter, father, mother, spouse. I can drop right now. Just a simple, conscious being, a devotee, if you will. It is easy to be myself. It is effortless to be myself. It is joyous to be myself. I have been waiting to be myself. It is comfortable to be myself. When you're ready, you can slowly open the eyes. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaskar and welcome to everybody to the second session on Essence of Vedanta. Yesterday we saw that we are trying to do the impossible. And what is the impossible? Trying to dismantle the house of oppression with the tools of the oppressor. This is what we are trying to do. The house is a house, an infrastructure of beliefs, notions, fears, tears, and all other difficulties that has to be brought down, that has to be dismantled, that has to be taken down for the glory of the I to reveal itself. 9/10 of this work is to take down this oppressive house. But then, what are the tools I am using to bring down this house is also extremely important. It is extremely important because this house is made up of difficult things. It has been built, the house of notions has been built up by raga and dvesha. Raga, strong preferences, dvesha, strong prejudices, if you will. These two things in life build up this whole house of horrors called samsara. Even though we say samsara is out there, samsara is this person in my life, because this person in my life cramps me from living however I want. Samsara is that situation. Samsara is the job that I don't want to go to. Samsara is the outlaw, the in-law. So many things we have. But really speaking, samsara is that which is here. The infrastructure through which I view the world is samsara, is what contributes to this life of becoming. So we saw a little bit of that yesterday. We saw the need for this house to come down. We also saw how difficult it is to bring down this house, because even though the house is full of mold and full of bugs and the air is not fresh, I am still attached, so to speak, to this house. It's not doing anything for me. In fact, it is toxic. It is making me feel sicker and sicker and sicker. That's why it is toxic. The more I talk, the more sick I feel. So, it has to be brought down, but somehow I say, oh, but this house with all the gases that are emitting, all the poison that is there, I still am in love with this. This is our problem, and that is why the help for this dismantling has to come from outside. It cannot be within the infrastructure, because the infrastructure wants to keep itself going. It doesn't want to come down. It will not come down. It wants to keep on going. Even though it is told this infrastructure is sick, no, it's okay. Doesn't matter. We are all looking for small band-aids to keep the house from leaking. There is a big flood and I'm looking for a small band-aid to put where the leak is originating. And there is a terrible problem with the mold, and I think, oh, I'll just use a hair dryer and dry out the part that looks a little wet. In this way, I keep fooling myself because I am addicted to a life of constant doing and constant dissatisfaction. In fact, the more I do, the more dissatisfied I feel, and the more distant I am from the truth of my very being. This is the reason we said we need the help. And the help comes in the form of a teacher who has already got out of the moldy house, the toxic house. And then that teacher can lead one from being addicted to living a lifestyle that is very inimical to one's blossoming into moksha, to one's self-growth. And so, whenever we discuss the essence of Vedanta, it cannot be a discussion that is so lofty and so animating, no doubt. It cannot just be at the realm of the mind, where I am told about my nature. But because of the addiction to wrong ways of being, the addiction to strong preferences, strong prejudices, it has to also be at the level of how I participate in the everyday life. Without that, this knowledge is not complete. That is why in the Bhagavad Gita, there are two topics that we discuss. The first topic is Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya means what we saw yesterday, the teaching of Vedanta, which we will again see. And then the second topic is Yoga Shastra. Yoga Shastra is not how to do asanas. No, that is not the Yoga Shastra here. Yoga Shastra means Karma Yoga. How to lead this life in a way that will teach me how to be and prepare the mind for this knowledge. Because the self that I seek to be, the self that I want to be, I already am. I'm already what I want to be. This is both a joy and a challenge. If I am already what I want to be, what is there to do? Nothing. But then, it becomes a cognitive pursuit, essentially speaking, because even though I am already what I want to be, I do not know that. I do not know that I am already what I want to be. This is the entire problem. And that is why none of the means of knowing that we saw yesterday, which were 5 in number. What were they? They were direct perception through the sense organs. What was the next one? Inference, one-step inference, multi-step inference. Then there was comparison. And then there was the cognition of absence. All these things, none of these things can help me because they are all ways of knowing the finite. The tools of knowing the finite cannot be used to understand oneself as the infinite because Brahman, the infinite, which is the truth of Atma, myself. Therefore, in the Shastra, in the teaching, Brahman and Atma are used interchangeably. So this I, Atma, is Brahman. Aham, I, Brahma, Asmi, I am Brahman. This is the teaching. This is not something which we can easily ingest because the I is not an object. You cannot see the I. Oh, but what if I stand in front of the mirror? I can see the I. What do you see? You see your form, you see the body, and immediately you get upset. Why do I look like this? So you're not seeing you, you're seeing the body. But suppose if I analyze my own mind, what am I seeing? Am I seeing I? No, I'm seeing my mind. Suppose I look at the sense organs. I'm not seeing the I, I'm seeing the sense organs. Then where is this I? Is there even this I? Well, there must be because I'm speaking, so something is there. That is like the rope, partially known. If it were fully known, we would not be sitting here. If it were not known at all, again we would be taking a holiday. We would not be sitting here at all. Somebody said, half knowledge is dangerous. I agree. But with this I, we go around with half knowledge. Asti kinchit, something is there. It is there. I take it for granted. But this I is not the body, it's more than the body. It's more than the mind, more than the sense organs, more than whatever I can think of is not understood. And therefore, in acquiring this understanding, we need help. We need a special means of knowledge that teaches without objectifying that I, which is not an object. A special means of knowledge is not in my hands. That is what is called Shastra, teaching, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita. These are the glasses that we have to wear in order to see that which already is me. The me that I want to be is what I already am. If you ask anybody, what do you want to be? What do you think the answer would be? Happy. You are already happy. Oh, you don't know my life, I am not happy. You're not happy? No. my life is terrible. I'm not happy at all. So many problems, so many fears, so many tears. I'm not happy. To that question, to somebody who is expressing themselves in this manner, what would I say? I would say, what happens when you sleep? Are you still crying in sleep? No, I cried myself to sleep, but I'm not crying in sleep. Right? Has anything changed in your life? No. Credit card debt, still there. Argument with the loved ones, very much there. Chronic issues of feeling insufficient and not enough, you bet, still there. Nothing has changed. Only thing is I went to sleep. That's what has changed. What happens in this magical realm of sleep? Very interesting. Something interesting happens whereby samsara is put into a stop, a 5-hour stop, 8-hour stop, or however long. Samsara is gone. I am one with Brahman. I am one with Ishvara. That's why it is so difficult to get up. When the alarm rings, 4:30, 5 o'clock, why do they have these early hours at all the ashrams? I don't know, but then that is how it is. And so when you wake up, you just feel like, oh, I slept so well. I forgot about everything. So this sleep tells us something which is very, 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 very beautiful, very, 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 very important. It tells us that my conclusion about myself as being a sad, apathetic, upset being, full of raga, dvesha, full of kama, krodha, is a lie. Because if it were the truth, it cannot be changed. Because that's the meaning of truth. Truth is not that which keeps undergoing a change. Then it's not a truth, it's a lie. Are you coming to my house today at 4 o'clock? Somebody asks. And somebody else says, yes, I will be there. 4 o'clock comes, 4 o'clock goes. No sign of the person. And then you give them half an hour because they are Indian, okay? Yeah. So we have what is called IST, which stands for Indian Standard Time, but here we have to convert it into Indian Stretchable Time. Yeah. So in India, 4 o'clock means between 4:30 and 5. So we give them up till 5. Still, no sign of the person. So what do you conclude? They did not mean what they say. That means what? This was not true that they were coming at 4 o'clock. It's not the truth. So if it is not the truth, it undergoes changes. If it is the truth, it doesn't undergo change. The second definition of truth is that it is not negatable. It's not negatable. You can't say, for example, this is sometimes orange and sometimes green. Can you say that? Yeah, this scarf is orange right now, but really speaking, it is green. 50% of the time it is green, 50% of the time it is orange, like your dress, both are there, orange and green. So, it's not like that. It is either one thing or another thing. So truth is abadhitam, non-negatable. Truth is that which does not undergo changes. This is why the story of oneself as a sad being, as a mad being, full of raga, dvesha, full of pains and fears, is a lie. This narrative is a lie, and just because all of us, the whole 8.2 billion people in the world are believing in this lie, at the same time, does not make it the truth. It is a lie. Because if this were the truth, that I am subject to sorrow, anger, fear, pain, emotional ups and downs, and if I were subject to all these things, I should be subject to all these things all the time. Sleep is a good lesson of moksha. In sleep you have moksha. Whether you have moksha or not, other people around you definitely have moksha when you sleep. Why? They don't have to deal with you. Simple. So, this being the case, we have to see that what happens when I'm awake? What is it that changes? What happened to that happiness? What happened to the cessation of sorrow? To the cessation of all kinds of problems? What happened? How come? How come now I'm suddenly waking up and along with me the problems also stretch. The problems also wake up and demand a cup of coffee. What kind of a life is this? So this collective lie that I am subject to samsara, some sorrow or the other, some pain, some fear, that this is how it is always going to be, has to be overcome, has to be overthrown. And it cannot, because the collective lie, which we all participate in, using the everyday tools of the finite, cannot dismantle this lie. We need a special means of knowing this, which is called the teaching through words. Words that are revealed, Upanishads, we saw that yesterday, and words that will bring me back to the truth of myself, from which I have departed, gone a long way, almost appears to be irreparable, but in reality is not so. So therefore, we have to take recourse to the Shastra to know the truth of the self. We depend on the Shastra because it is an objective teacher. It does not want to manipulate me. It has no desire to tell me something and lie to me because it doesn't have an agenda for me. It doesn't want anything from me. It simply states what is my nature. In fact, it is an important antidote to my sad autobiography. Have you heard of the autobiography of a yogi? Yes? This, what we have collectively, is autobiography of a bhogi. Bhogi means the sufferer. the one who is victimized. This is what it is. Chapter 1, oh, not again. Why am I here? Chapter 2, I am not okay. Nothing is okay. Chapter 3, more of the same, because everything that was wrong in me, with me, could not fit into chapter 2. So therefore I had to have chapter 3. Chapter 3, chapter 2 continued. Chapter 4, why me? Why I have this problem? Why all the other people seem to be happy? They don't have these issues. How come I have this issue? How come I have this problem? What's wrong with me? How do I get out of this? Chapter 5, conclusion? No, to be continued. ... Next life, same autobiography. Next life, same autobiography. The autobiography of a samsari. This is the collective autobiography that we write. And we can even contribute to each other's chapters. And other people contribute to our chapters. We can have a whole chapter on somebody we don't like. And how this person has tormented me, we can write. The Upanishad gives an authentic autobiography. Oh, just because you say it is authentic, I should believe you. Why should I do that? Because it is in keeping with what everyone wants. That's why the Upanishad is so compelling. That's why even if you don't know the meaning of the word Upanishad, it has a draw. Because, really speaking, if I want to know about myself, why should I go and sit in front of a stranger and tell them, please tell me about myself? Makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense. But that is the compelling nature of the Upanishad. The nature of the Upanishad is such that it draws me. It draws me out of this horrible shell of samsara into seeing what this possibility is, and the possibility is in keeping with what I really want. Generally, what a person wants is divided into 4 pursuits called Purushartha. Sarvaihi Purushaihi Arthyate. That which is wanted, desired by all beings. And the first of these pursuits is called Dharma. Dharma means doing what is right, especially in the face of difficulty. When everything is going my way, I can do what is right, no problem. But in the face of difficulties, I have to do what is correct. This is the first Purushartha. Somebody may raise their hand, I object. This is not my Purushartha, this may be your Purushartha. I am not a dharmic person. Never was, never want to be. This is a dog-eat-dog world. I don't want to be dharmic. Who is dharmic? The government is not dharmic. People around me are not dharmic. You are also not dharmic. Why should I be dharmic? For the person who is asking this, we have a very compelling reason why dharma is the first purushartha. You may not want dharma directly. Yes, agreed, you don't want to be dharmic, but do you want other people to be dharmic towards you or no? Yes. Everybody should be kind towards me. Nobody should cheat me. Nobody should lie to me. Nobody should defraud me. This is one's expectation. Dharma indirectly becomes a purushartha. The first purushartha is this. That's why if there are two thieves and there is a falling out between the two thieves and one of them takes all the loot and disappears, the other one is so outraged that he will call the police. Oh, my partner is missing, gone. What happened? Went away, took all my stuff. What was your stuff? A big stash of drugs. Took all that away. You see how even the thief wants dharma, wants other people to be dharmic. This becomes the first purushartha. Then the second purushartha is called artha, security. I want security, I want to feel secure. Why? Because the basic premise is what? I am insecure. That's why I want to be secure. And in order to be secure, first I want to secure my bank balance. And then I want to have some people capital. It's not enough to have money. I should have people capital too. I should have people around me. And then I should have then that's why people get married. This is called artha purushartha. And then marriage is not enough because in fact many times marriage brings up more insecurity than what you had before you were married. And so what next to do? Have children as a source of security for the future. For some future where the legs and the hands don't cooperate, the eyes and the sense organs don't cooperate. Karmendriya's gone, Jnanendriya's gone. I will lean on the next generation. That is also the desire for security. And then we have kama, so pleasure. That which gives pleasure is called kama. That which delights. Movies, popcorn, music, whatever it is. Gatherings of people. All this is the desire for pleasure. Even to read a book, to attend a lecture, a spiritual discourse, all that is a sophisticated form of kama. Then finally, we have moksha. Moksha from what? Moksha means freedom. Then the question is, moksha from what? Moksha from wanting dharma, artha and kama. That is why it is the last and the final purushartha. Because if we look at each and every purushartha, you can unravel it immediately. Artha, if you take, then you see, I am not wanting security. I am wanting freedom from being insecure. And what does the teaching say? You are naturally free of being insecure. You are the most secure thing that there is. This is revealed in the teaching. So then that there goes artha, because artha is only freedom from insecurity. But here, this insecurity itself has to be questioned. And again, if we take the sleep example, nobody is insecure in sleep. And so there goes that wrong notion that I am insecure and therefore I need a solution from this insecurity. Kama, happiness, again, one assumes that the nature of the I is unhappy and therefore I need freedom from unhappiness. This is not a happy conclusion because sometimes, even without fulfilling a desire, one is happy. One is happy for no reason at all. You just wake up happy. And then what happens? You go drive to your workplace or wherever, somebody cuts in front of you. Normally you would have been very, very angry. Very, very angry. But today you say, this person must be having a hard day. Let them go. Let them go. It's okay. And so that shows that this happiness is already an achieved fact. It is not something to be achieved. It's already mine. It has to be understood. It has to be lived. It has to be discovered. And dharma we have already seen. I want everybody to be nice to me. I want everybody to be happy with me. And dharma becomes a stepping stone to moksha. Artha kama are in between. And this is very beautifully shown in one of the Upanishads called Katha Upanishad, Kathopanishad, where a small boy, Nachiketa, goes to Lord Yama, the Deva of death. What is this small boy doing at the house of death? Because the father was a little impatient with the child. The father was engaged in giving everything he owned away as a way to going to heaven and enjoying the afterlife. The child didn't know that everything had to be given. The child was probably asleep and suddenly woke up and saw old cows being led. The cows that had drunk every drop of milk allotted to them by God in their karma, the cows that had eaten every piece of grass, every blade of grass allotted to them by their karma, the cows who could neither smell nor taste nor reproduce, these kinds of cows were being led out. And Nachiketa thought, I am better than these cows. I can do something. I can help my father achieve this Brahma Loka or whichever Loka he wants to go. Nachiketa volunteered himself, but then wanted to ask the father, Kasmai mam dasyasi? Hey tata, kasmai mam dasyasi? Oh daddy, who are you going to give me to? So first time, the father was indulgent. Probably the boy doesn't know. Children are not property. Children are not to be given away, he doesn't know. So the first time when a child does something, it is cute. Second time, not so cute. Third time, definitely uncute. And so the third time, he pestered the father, who are you going to give me to? And the father in anger said, I'm going to give you to Lord Yama, go. And the boy said, okay, I'll go, no problem. No, I didn't mean it. You see, this is not an option in the ancient Indian culture. You can't say something and say, I did not mean that. What you say is what you do. That's why you have to be careful what you think, what you say, and how you act are in alignment. This alignment is called Arjava. Arjavam. That alignment must be there. In fact, everything in ancient India is based on a promise. If you know the story of Ramayana, it's based on a promise. A promise that Dasharatha made to his wife, Kaikeyi. If you see the Mahabharata, that is another promise, series of promises. So this is how Nachiketa lands in the house of Yama, in the compound of Lord Yama. Lord Yama is not at home. He's busy. He's touring, harvesting the jivas, touring around. And then he comes back after 3 days. Mrs. Yama keeps inviting the boy inside. Her name is Yami. Yami says, you are so cute, come inside, have something to eat, drink something. There's a nice bedroom for you, sleep. No, says the boy. I am to serve Lord Yama, and until he comes and he invites me in, I cannot come in. I'm going to stay here. So she sends Lord Yama a text message and says, better come back soon. It's already been 3 days, 3 nights, and we can't have a guest. We can't treat the guest like a pest. We cannot. Guest is an incarnation of God. And we have to treat this boy well. But he's refusing to enter the house. Come back soon. Lord Yama texted back, BRB. What is that? I'll be right back, don't worry, I'm coming. And in this way, this teaching starts with Lord Yama giving the boy the lesson of 2 kinds of choices people make. The first is called Shreyas. Shreyas is another word for moksha. The second one is called Preyas. Preyas means that which is delightful. The delightful Preyas and the exalted Shreyas. These are the 2 choices that are confronting the human being. You can't say, I refuse to choose, because if you refuse to choose also, you are making a choice. If you refuse to choose, you are choosing the delightful but finite. That is Preyas. Preyas is finite. Preyas is delightful. Preyas comes to an end. Preyas keeps you on your toes. With Preyas, you don't have a single calm moment. You run from one desire to another desire to the third and the fourth. All these things you run from one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. Shreyas is the last frontier of all desires and all pursuits. Strangely, in choosing moksha, Shreyas, you can also choose prayas. Prayas is included. It's a package deal. How can the delightful be left out when you choose the exalted? It's included. But if we choose if we choose Prayas, Shreyas is not included. Just like if you can see that something you order in a restaurant and the sauce comes on it for free. Along with that, you get a salad and the dressing comes for free. It's included. The dressing is included. But if you go to the shop and buy salad dressing, salad is not included. This is exactly how prayas and shreyas operate. And therefore, we need to choose what? What should we choose? Shreyas, yeah. If you choose prayas, we'll be saying to the people, please pray for us. That's all we are saying. We need to choose Shreyas. But how? How do we choose Shreyas? When especially I'm addicted to the delightful, I'm addicted to the finite, and I don't even know the meaning of myself as infinite, how do I choose Shreyas? That we'll see in the evening session. So I will end here, and then if anybody has one or two questions, we can answer that. We'll say the closing prayer first, and then we will take one or two questions in the 5 minutes we have. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Any questions about what you have heard thus far? You can just raise your hand and ask. Okay, good enough. Om Tat Sat.